So we're live. I'm just gonna, the march is starting from Phillips Square, and we do have an announcement.
Security and out of road users, we are asking you to travel in the same direction as the traffic. You have the right to manifest as long as you exercise it in a peaceful manner. Offenses.
So a basic announcement at the outset of the protest of the march, saying that there needs to be a flow with traffic and that no offenses are going to be tolerated. We've got an unfamiliar sight here blocking this street. I'm just going to get a little bit closer to get a sense of who exactly this is. Okay, I suspect that might be provincial police because we don't have, that isn't the SPVM as far as I can see. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a false start here. I believe the group was intending on taking a right onto St. Catherine, but we do have a blockade. Yeah, so the march started from Phillips Square, started moving down St. Catherine, and we're met with this blockade. So we've got a very prominent police blockade here. This is something new. I haven't seen too much of this. The bikes being held up like this. So we've got quite an interesting start to the protest so far. Crowd very much wanting to go in this direction, but being met with a very deliberate blockade. So we've got announcements on the loudspeaker now, somebody saying, you know, what's going on. The crowd didn't have a chance to even move down the street yet, and we're being blocked off. So people seem to be moving in the other direction on St. Catherine right now. So some discontent was expressed on behalf of a lot of the protesters about not being able to march in their intended direction, and now it continues in the other direction on St. Catherine. So we'll see what the police response is to this new direction. That's an odd one. I haven't seen that kind of a false start on a march before. So, it seems that a right is being taken here on Union. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm at Demo. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry, the event started off weird, so I didn't get to do the introductions. So from the outset, we've got a weird tone to the march tonight. Protesters immediately blocked off access to their intended route. People not happy about that. Now taking a different route down Union. So we are coming up to the next intersection here, Union and de Maisonneuve, and we do have some more police blockades. Left being taken onto de Maisonneuve off of Union. I suspect because of this blockade, not much of a choice. So the crowd continues to come down Union. We do have a large group, several hundreds, maybe in the 1,000 or so protesters. So I'm gonna focus less on getting a sense of the size of the crowd here, and I'm gonna stick to the front because things seem to be moving quite quickly this evening. The crowd is moving at a faster rate than I'm usually used to. Okay, so we do have a new group joining up here. So some numbers have been added to the protest. If the first 10 minutes of this march are any indication, we're going to have a very interesting night. As always, please retweet and share the stream. Let people know what's happening. Follow me on Twitter at Madamour, and also Link Newspaper and 99 Media for live coverage. So we do have many members who have joined this march with black flags, a lot of them with their faces covered. So the demographics have changed a little bit. Hey, how's it going? Okay, so we do have new kinds of riot police here with their shields out. Yeah, so we've got provincial police providing reinforcements for the SPVM this evening, and they're very much present. So we do have some smoke that was deployed, and a rock has been thrown in the direction of police. That was quite close. Somebody missed their target and it hit the police van. So we've got a flare that's been lit. So it appears that we do have some smoke projectiles that are being thrown in the direction of police right now. Okay, so no, the people are trying to move, and they are being forced back. Yep, some elements are trying to move past the blockade here of the provincial police. and they are being smashed back. We've got some, aerosols. Try to get close, but not too close, because we do have a lot of action here. Rocks being thrown, projectiles, batons are out. Yeah, we do have what seems to be a bottle thrown right now. Objects being thrown at the police. So, interestingly enough, it's the police that have backed off. Their blockade was pushed back, even though we did see batons come out trying to force people back. Not sure if any of the protesters that tried to rush the blockade were arrested, but it's definitely a possibility. Movement now. People are dispersing, but they're staying in the group. So there was an attempt to break this line. It wasn't successful, but the police did move back, and we do have some objects and projectiles being deployed in the direction of police. And the march continuing down McGill College. And we've got plenty more people, hundreds of people who are continuing down de Maisonneuve to meet up with this group. So far, even though we had quite a forceful response from the protesters who tried to rush the barricade, the police response so far has just been batons out and pushing and shoving people, so we haven't seen, or at least I have not seen any tear gas or pepper spray being deployed quite yet.
You guys are tough. You guys are much tougher than Montreal police.
Yeah, so this is the Sûreté du Québec, so this is a...
Jeez, anyone who screams, we'll jump on the aisle.
Pretty bad. So we've got a protester saying right now that there are children here, and they're asking the police officers if they're proud of their reaction thus far. So we do have police officers on horseback behind this bike barricade. So we got the police telling that this gentleman that he's too close, asking him to back up. So the situation very, very tense right now, but we do have a lot of people out on the street. So the back of the crowd is just coming on to McGill College off of de Maisonneuve, and we've got the front of the crowd taking a left on St. Catherine, so that gives you a rough idea of the size of the group so far. must admit I was not expecting this strong a police presence and response this early. There were some questions being asked about whether the police were going to try to clamp down early, but given the estimated size beforehand of the group that was going to be protesting tonight, I didn't think it was going to be very likely that the police were going to be this forceful this early, but that appears to be the case. It'll be anybody's guess at this point how the police are going to continue to react, because this crowd's only going to get bigger, I suspect, because we've got some other groups that might join in as they did a little bit earlier. The protesters with black flags coming in and joining the larger group. And it's worth noting that it was elements of that group that tried to rush the barricade back there, in large part. So, no idea how this is going to go. So we do have a police blockade with more riot police being deployed here. On the intersection of McGill College and Old St. Catherine Street. People continue to come down McGill College, taking a left on St. Catherine. There's we have an announcement on the megaphone asking people to disperse immediately. So I don't know if the march has been declared illegal yet. There was a lot of shouting and screaming, so it was difficult to tell. Okay. So we've just got a call for a star formation from one of the riot police officers at the front, and there was a quick remobilization. So they are advancing. Shields being hit, advancing. People trying to move. Police are moving quickly and forcefully. Calls from police for an immediate dispersion. They're trying to cut this march in two. So they've very deliberately done this at the intersection. So we've got a large group at the front being chased down right now. Shields are being hit. People are running down St. Catherine. So we've got something that just exploded. It might have been a tear gas canister or a firework. But we still have a lot of people behind us. Okay, yeah, we do have... Yeah, we do have projectiles that are being fired off by the police right now. Yeah, so that's tear gas. More projectiles. You can smell the tear gas in the air. Unmistakable. Yeah, so I'm not going to go in that direction because it's very, very strong. People moving back. So they're trying to stop. Oh, it's pretty much in every direction. So most likely they're trying to stop the back half of this group from joining the first half that was cut off at this intersection. Tear gas was deployed in this direction here, and then over there. Okay, yeah, that one's very close. We've got bystanders, we've got citizens being caught in the crossfire of this tear gas right now. You can see over there we do have some protesters who are moving back up in McGill College. Don't know what to make of this one. Right now we've got effectively two groups one that went down St. Catherine, one that's going back up on McGill. I'd be surprised if they don't try to regroup. Okay, I'm gonna try to run through this area. Oh shit, no I can't. Move back, it's gonna hit you. Yeah, so we've got the P6 announcement right now on the on the loudspeaker saying that the march has been declared illegal. Tried moving closer there, but the tear gas. Oh dear. We've got a child here who's been impacted by the by the tear gas. And we've got some restaurant patrons here who were impacted by the tear gas. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer, but once you get close to the intersection, the tear gas kicks in. Okay, it's dispersed a little bit, so.
You are committing an offense, and we are ordering you to disperse and leave. Otherwise, we will have to intervene.
So I'm going to continue down St. Catherine. I do see a lot of smoke, so I suspect that the bulk of the police action is down there. I'm not gonna, okay, I can't get too close because the tear gas is thick in the air right now, and it's been used quite liberally on St. Catherine. Busy intersections. I saw a young child being held in her dad's arms who had obviously inhaled some tear gas, and she seemed to be in quite a lot of pain. Restaurant patrons on who were eating outside. Shit. Yeah, once you, I keep trying to get closer, but it's in the air. Oh God, damn it. And police are redeploying. People are not happy. A lot of people screaming at the police vehicles that they see, asking, what did we do? We can still hear some protesters cheering and screaming. More the riot police vehicles that just passed by me are being redeployed. They're on the intersection right now of La Belle Bourassa and St. Catherine, and riot police are remobilizing. So I'm going to very, very slowly try to advance right now and try to get closer. Hi, Kalina.
Hey, good luck.
Thank you.
Not even working.
So we've got a lot of people here. Many of them probably protesters, but a lot of people just out and about on a Friday night on St. Catherine. Yeah, I'm going to try to advance, but I have to do so really, really slowly because the tear gas sets in really quickly and catches you off guard. So at least if you go slowly, you can move back quickly. Riot police coming back after being redeployed, asking people to disperse. So I'm going to try to advance back towards Phillips Square, see if we still have a group of protesters who have maybe reassembled there. That would be my suspicion. Riot police continuing to push people back down St. Catharines towards McGill College Avenue. But keep in mind that a large group of protesters was chased down here by riot police bashing their shields. And those riot police vehicles are redeploying. Yeah, so we definitely do still have some groups here. We do have some mainstream media who are here on the intersection of Union and St. Catherine reporting on what's happened. We've got a young lady here who appears to be in quite a lot of pain. We've got an arrest. So we do have riot police who are holding a barricade around an arrest that's happening right now. Riot police officer is advancing on protesters. So I can't hear right now for those who have criticized the mainstream media for not reporting on what really happens. I do overhear right now some mainstream media journalists who are reporting on the sudden.
You just missed it. They were brutalizing this guy.
Yeah.
They just had him on the floor. I don't know if you saw it, but this lady was filming and she, they just shot her with pepper spray right in the face just for filming.
So apparently I've got one of my colleagues from the link right now, Noel Didier-Jean, telling me that the arrest that just happened solicited one of the protesters to film, because apparently there was some rough.
It was clearly a shopper.
It was a shopper?
Yeah,
So it was just a.
She did not look like a protester.
So she apparently didn't look like a protester.
It was like passing by on the side of the street. She pulls out her phone because they're like getting this guy on the ground. He doesn't even look particularly violent or anything. They have this guy on the ground, pinning him. There are a bunch of people very concerned. A lot of people with cameras. She passes by with their camera and he gets her with pepper spray in the face.
Okay, so we've got somebody.
Several passers-by.
Yeah, so we got a passerby who tried to film an arrest and was met with some pepper spray directly in the face. And I didn't see that actual event, but I did see the aftermath of that young lady in quite a lot of pain. So we've got more riot police advancing right now, and so we've got 2 or 3 dozen riot police here. I do see a riot police officer there who seems to have confiscated some black flags and is loading them into that truck. Yeah, so I do apologize. I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat. I've been keeping an eye out for more riot police, more tear gas, more pepper spray. So I do see a lot of comments here questioning the wisdom of deploying tear gas in that populated area at this hour with children around. Yeah, I definitely saw that. Saw some kids crying, being rushed away by their parents. So right now, we do see there was an arrest, and right now we've got more riot police that are mobilized here on Union. And my guess is that quite soon we're going to get an order from them for people to disperse. So I'm going to stick with this area right here. So we do have a riot police officer right there who's handling a canister, probably tear gas.
Got your number, bitch. Got your fucking number, bitch.
So this is a young lady who was pepper sprayed, and she's not pleased at all. She was not protesting. From what my colleague at the link, Noel Didier-Jean, told me, she was just filming, not being aggressive, an arrest that was happening, and she was met with pepper spray to the face. And there is an incredibly negative reaction, as you would expect, from the people who witnessed this. And as far as I can tell, the mainstream press is here and they saw it too. TVA, Radio Canada, they're all here. So I think that this is going to be a big story. Police in every direction. Lots of police vehicles redeploying. I did hear one of the riot police officers saying that there was going to be a redeployment west. That appears to be the case. I don't know if there's another group that's kept on going down St. Catherine. Good rule of thumb is follow the sirens, so that's what I'm going to do. We do have some protesters who are back here at Phillips Square. So I'm going to continue moving in the direction of these police vehicles. So they're taking a right. So I'm going to cut across here, see if there's any protester presence on the René Lévesque. We do see some police there on bikes, but it's pretty much police everywhere right now, on every major street, I'd imagine. So don't know if, I mean, this is just speculation, but I have no idea if the police response would have been as strong if the Sûreté du Québec was not present tonight. Just from a visual standpoint, their presence added an element of unpredictability to the march, because people were not used to seeing those brown, grayish uniforms. And saw some new tactics being employed, new for me anyways, of the bikes being held up with the wheels up and sort of knocking people back as they tried to approach barricades. So the police seem to have done a circle around this block, going back towards Phillips Square. Again, not going to comment on the wisdom of the tactics being employed this evening, but I will express some surprise at them. Tear gas being deployed at that hour on a Friday. People out on terraces enjoying meals, kids. That's quite a sight. So heading back towards Phillips Square. As far as I could see, there wasn't a large contingent of protesters that continued past Union down St. Catherine. So most of the people who were in that first half. So yeah, let me recap. We were on de Maisonneuve and McGill College Avenue. There was barricade. Some of the more militant elements of the march tried to break the barricade and threw some projectiles at the Sûreté du Québec police. That line retreated a little bit but held. So then people continued down McGill College Avenue towards St. Catherine. And at that point, riot police group of about a dozen or more got into what I heard referred to as a star formation, and basically cut the march in two. And the front half got chased down St. Catherine. Tear gas was deployed, and then tear gas was deployed in the opposite direction to disperse the back half of the march. So the words "divide and conquer" come to mind. And I do see some people in the street marching. So it seems that a group has regathered here. So let's see what's going on. So yeah, the march still definitely going here. It seems that the tension has died down here on the intersection of Union and St. Catherine, where my colleague tells me there was a violent arrest, and not a protester, but a passerby was filming and was pepper sprayed, and people responded very, very negatively to it once I got here. So we have a march continuing now down St. Catherine. Millman 514 saying, "We testify to your running skills." Thanks, I try to keep in shape for moments like this. So yeah, I'm just moving back towards the chat right now, looking, and yeah, a lot of questions about whether there's a protest left. Yeah, it was severely divided and degraded by police action, but we still do have a contingent marching down St. Catherine. We've got about a couple of hundred people. No riot police presence here that I can see. There was a redeployment earlier towards René Lévesque, so I wouldn't be surprised if that group of police vehicles meets back up with this new march. Keep in mind, this is 7:30 p.m. on a Friday in the busiest part of downtown Montreal. And we've got some people yelling right now that they tear-gassed kids. And while I'm sure that wasn't the intention, that's a factual statement that some children were caught in the tear gas. And just on a personal note, I've been tear gassed before, and I took in a little bit tonight. And for even adults, it is painful and terrifying. And I can only imagine what that experience must be like for a kid. We've got calls right now from the crowd saying to passerbys in the streets with us, come join us. I did see some people earlier on the intersection of St. Catherine and Union that didn't appear to be part of the original march. Some older people who appeared to be coming from restaurants and bars nearby were very unhappy with the police response. So it is definitely possible that some of the people who were onlookers have now become active participants. Now on the back at the intersection of McGill College and St. Catherine, the march appears to be taking a right. The smell of tear gas still in the air. Not as strong, but it's still there. No, so no right onto McGill Avenue. We're now walking down St. Catherine. Yeah, so I think I just saw that in action. We had people who were just on the corner, onlookers, who I heard someone say, "Are we going?" And the other person said yes. So more numbers in the crowd. So we still have hundreds of people marching in downtown Montreal on this May Day, even after a very swift and violent response from riot police, including the SPVM, Montreal's police service, and the Sûreté du Québec, the provincial police, who were seemingly brought in here as reinforcements. So far, no police presence impeding the continuing march here down St. Catherine. But I suspect that we'll be seeing them sometime soon. We're now on the corner of Metcalfe and St. Catherine, continuing down St. Catherine. Continued calls for onlookers and passerbys to join the march. No, when the tear gas went off on the corner of McGill College Avenue and St. Catherine, I saw a terrace full of restaurant patrons covering their mouths with napkins, trying not to breathe in the sizable amount of tear gas that was fired off. And we had waitresses and restaurant managers coming out just going, "What the hell happened here?" So yeah, still no serious police presence here. Hundreds of people on the intersection of Peel and St. Catherine. And no police in sight. There is a helicopter overhead. Don't know if that's media or police, but if it's police, I suspect they're helping coordinate the response to this new group that's marching. Yeah, so continuing down St. Catherine. Honks of support. So we've got a group back at the intersection trying to get the attention, saying, let's stick together, let's stick together. I think the message is trickling down. There's more people here, so I'm going to stick with this group over here. So we do have a smaller group, maybe about 50 to 100 people who are coming down Peel to meet up with this group at the intersection. I guess that people at this intersection saw this group coming and tried to get the attention of the group that was going down St. Catherine, asked them to come back and rejoin for strength in numbers. So now that the group has come back together and rejoined with calls to continue down St. Catherine. So here we go again. More people still coming down Peel on the intersection with St. Catherine. Numbers keep going up on this new contingent that's marching, and we continue down St. Catherine for the time being. So I'm saying apparently some people got a taste of tear gas inside the metro. That wouldn't surprise me because it was deployed quite close to some metro entrances / exits. So that wouldn't surprise me in the least. A lot of tear gas was set off. At least 4 different deployments on that intersection. Now on the intersection of Stanley and St. Catherine, march continuing down St. Catherine. And the media is sticking with this march for the time being. We've got some people expressing some displeasure to a police officer in his van right now. Yeah, so we definitely have a larger group right now. We had a convergence of a smaller group into this march. Continuing, ça va?
T'es correct?
Oh, ouais. T'allais par là, j'allais par là, puis c'est une mauvaise idée.
OK, t'es gazé?
Ben, je suis correct pour l'instant, là.
OK.
Toi?
Ouais, j'ai été gazé bien comme du monde. I cried my heart out, man.
Ouais.
Avec tout ce que j'avais dans les yeux.
Non, c'était...
Even though I got these fucking glasses that protect from the side also.
Yeah.
And I still got a lot in my eyes.
No, that was, they did it quick and they did it smart. Right in the middle of the march, star formation, broke it in half, and then just tear gas in both directions.
No, sorry, they did not act smart. They're gas families. And
yeah, I don't mean smart in that way. I mean in terms of dispersion, but everything else, yeah. we had some people in restaurants on the terrace, and you had like managers and waitresses coming out going, "What the hell was this?" And people having a meal, putting napkins over their faces. I saw one father running away from that intersection with a little girl in his arms, and he was just trying to cover her face, but she had already inhaled it and got in her eyes. So, yeah.
Oh, right now, for those of you who don't know or who are used to my license, this is Matt Damo. He's also 99 Media and the Link newspaper.
That's right.
And he's also live on his cell phone. We can see right here. So if I'm ever down, you can always go on 99media.org. You will find my live stream and his live stream. So if we ever get separated,
yep, 99 Media's got you. They've got you covered. So
c'est Rick est live ici.
Je sais pas.
Je l'ai pas vu partout.
No. So we've got a few hundred people still walking down St. Catherine. Right now on the intersection of de la Montagne and St. Catherine. So far, no significant police response. We do have a disagreement right now between some protesters and somebody in a vehicle. People continue to pour down St. Catherine. The group has definitely grown in size. They're still coming down to this intersection of de la Montagne and St. Catherine. So I'm going to continue down here. So we do have some journalists trying to interview some people stuck in traffic. We've got protesters who are moving some road signs to try and block traffic. And some protesters clearing that up. So I don't think that at any point this was the intention of the police when they tried to break this party up to have this new group emerge and march down St. Catherine. It just crept back to life in a pretty significant way in large numbers. Even though so much tear gas was deployed and there was so much action from the police, we still ended up here. On the intersection of Crescent and St. Catherine now, continuing down St. Catherine. Heading towards Concordia University, which incidentally is the base of operations for the Link newspaper.ca. Check them out. As well as 99media.org, and follow me on Twitter @MattDamo. You'll get all the information you could possibly imagine. Jones 1963, welcome. Watching from the U.S. Jones asking how many people we've got. Well, we had several hundreds, maybe in the thousands at the outset, but there was an almost immediate police response trying to break up the march, dispersing them with tear gas. So right now we're in smaller numbers, but we do have quite a large contingent that's continuing. What's up?
Move away. That's a police station.
Yeah.
If they start shooting shit,
it goes bad fast. So right now we're probably in the hundreds, maybe around maybe about 500, but that's just an estimate. So the original plan, as far as the social media buzz around this event was concerned, is the original meeting was going to be at Phillips Square, which it was, and then groups from all over Montreal who were participating in May Day activities for International Workers' Day were going to be converging in downtown Montreal, and that has happened to a certain extent, but definitely not in the manner that was intended. There was an immediate dispersal, very, very quick. Tactics being employed by the police to break up the protest, and that worked for a little while. Passerbys got tear gassed, bystanders, but now the march is back on with hundreds of people participating. Some protesters blocking off this intersection with road signs. Okay, so we're coming up on the intersection of Guy and St. Catherine. I did see some police lights flashing by, but so far we haven't seen a significant police response to this new march. They might, if I had to guess, they might be trying to let people cool off a little bit because there was a very strong and negative reaction to that initial attempt at a dispersion. And I don't think that any attempt to duplicate that a second time would be met very favorably. So past Guy, continuing on St. Catherine. Still a very large group in the higher hundreds. We'll try to move ahead here towards the front of the march. Coming up on St. Mathieu and St. Catherine. A little bit of a standstill. People trying to decide which direction to go in. Either keep down St. Catherine or take a right onto Pierce towards the Maisonneuve. No consensus yet. So it appears that the direction is going to continue being St. Catherine. Restaurant patrons having a gander. So there's a police officer here, not with any larger group, but he is on his cell phone. There's one lone motorcycle cop doing a pass by, not trying to impede the march in any way. Screams right now to stay on St. Catherine as we're on the intersection of St. Mathieu and St. Catherine. I think people are a little bit skittish right now, wondering when the police are going to catch up and start blockading intersections. Some people trying to continue on St. Catherine, some people trying to go down St. Mathieu, no consensus yet.
À nous, 24! Laissez-les passer, guys, laissez-les passer. Fifo!
So yeah, the direction is now St. Mathieu. Jones 1963 saying that there's also a large march in Baltimore right now. She's watching both. Yeah, May Day is International Day of Action. Obviously, Baltimore's got a little bit more than International Workers' Day going on right now. Big news out of Baltimore today that the police officers that were involved in the, they have been found to been alleged to have been responsible for his death. They will be prosecuted. So we in Montreal are also following that story. Coming up to St. Mathieu and de Maisonneuve. Some police lights in the distance down at the top of St. Mathieu. But police are hands off for the time being. What's that?
How goes it?
It goes. I've been tracking them back since it regrouped on Union in St. Catherine. About 400 or 500, I'd say.
I'll give it a check.
So we got another disagreement here. Some people have continued up St. Mathieu. Others who are still on this intersection of St. Mathieu and de Maisonneuve saying go down de Maisonneuve. So once again, no consensus on the direction, but that's usually sorted out quite quickly. People continuing down St. Mathieu. Watching overhead. 514 saying that police are heading to CAM. So I don't know if there's some. Okay, we do have some liquid being thrown down from an apartment building. At least I hope that was water. I really hope that was water. Let me just check if the lens is clear. Yes. All right. So yeah, I got a little bit of a soak there. Somebody on the balcony of this apartment building tossed down some liquid, but no harm done. Taking a right onto Sherbrooke from St. Mathieu. Still no sizable police response. They appear to be letting this march go as it will. Still hundreds and hundreds in the street. So we've got some word here in the chat that some protesters are trying to occupy UQAM and that police have been dispatched to respond to that situation. So we'll keep an eye on that. So for those who are just joining us or joined us a little while ago, we're in downtown Montreal. This is a May Day demonstration, International Workers' Day, that started in downtown Montreal in larger numbers and was very quickly split in two by riot police officers who dispatched tear gas and charged protesters, effectively splitting it in two. Some arrests were made, some pepper spray, some tear gas was deployed. It happened very quickly, very suddenly. Many bystanders and onlookers and restaurant patrons who were out on eating outdoors were caught in the tear gas. I saw children being rushed away in their parents' arms who had obviously breathed in the tear gas and gotten in their eyes. So that was quite a sight. So for right now, we do still have a group that's reformed walking down Sherbrooke. So far, police is letting it be without intervening. Again, just conjecture on my part, but I suspect that they want to let things cool down a little bit after that first attempt to end demonstrations tonight. So I do see a few more police lights in the distance. Those appear to be police officers on motorcycles, so probably just trying to keep tabs on the direction of the march and maybe try to block off traffic from coming onto Sherbrooke. But so far, no riot police, no police officers on bicycles to try and direct the flow of the march. Yeah, worth mentioning that we're in a very busy area of downtown Montreal. It's Friday night. People are out, and many of them coming out from their respective restaurants and bars and clubs to see just what all the fuss is about. So there is an ambulance at the back of the march right now, following. I don't know if somebody's injured or they're suspecting there might be some injuries at some point, but it is at the back of the march, following. We do have protesters who are moving traffic cones to try and disrupt the flow of traffic if it ever starts back up. People have expressed it in the chat before. It might be worth bringing up again, but the sentiment you'll see a lot is that when you get a really strong police presence and response that tries to break up a crowd, it usually galvanizes people and stiffens their resolve, and that's certainly what appears to be the case this evening. People are really upset. They're vocal, they're loud, and they're continuing to march, taking a right on Crescent off of Sherbrooke. So we're now currently on Crescent, which is the location of some of the swankier shops and bars and restaurants in downtown Montreal. Sort of a touristy area. There seemed to be a lot of enthusiasm from people to turn off of Sherbrooke and onto Crescent. We've got Middleman 514 saying in the chat that there might be a kettle right now on University and de Maisonneuve. Still several hundred people. It doesn't seem like the numbers have dropped at all. They actually seem to have done the opposite. I think we've picked up some folks. Jones 1963 telling me to be careful that the police are inevitably going to do something. Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting for the police to decide to mobilize again and try to direct the flow of the march or blockade it in some way. We just had some protesters try to take some chairs away from a restaurant terrace, trying to block the flow of traffic, and some waiters coming back out in the street and trying to grab that stuff again. We do have some police off there on de Maisonneuve between Crescent and Guy, who seem to be gearing up. So I anticipate some police response coming up. Protesters continue to grab traffic signs and try to litter them around the intersections to block the flow of traffic.
This is fucking class war!
So we've got a new conundrum here about which direction we're going to go in, and it's continuing down St. Catherine. Continuing down to Maisonneuve. Police are still hands off. So At this point, I am keeping an eye on the chat, so questions, comments, anything you'd like to say about ongoing protests, anything about May Day, stuff that's been going on today. So as far as I can see, yeah, the group has definitely picked up in numbers. What started off with a few hundred people is maybe now upwards of 500, probably more. Yes, Idle One, that is a helicopter. Yeah, that might be a police helicopter hanging overhead to keep tabs on the direction of the march. So worth noting, I was mentioning it before, but this evening saw the inclusion of Sûreté du Québec riot police officers, which, for those of you who are unaware, that's basically the provincial police of Quebec and not Montreal's police service, the SPVM. So it was a mixed contingent of police. We had some riot police from both forces, and haven't seen any further members of the Sûreté du Québec. So we do have some people running right now, maybe trying to fool the police or try to outmaneuver them. So I'll run along with them. So yeah, they saw the riot police coming up on this intersection of Stanley and St. Catherine, and I suspect they tried to run across the intersection to stop the police from mobilizing a barricade for the rest of de Maisonneuve. Question here: do police use drones for the marches as well? Not as far as I know. They might be, but that's not information I'm privy to. But I don't believe so. Have had calls from people in the live stream audience chatting, saying that I should look into the possibility of using a drone to cover the protests, but the logistics of doing that would be formidable, and it wouldn't last very long. It'd be like 15 minutes, and then it'd be done, and that would be no fun, would it? So protesters continue to move traffic signs and traffic cones to block access to traffic. So some of the more militant elements of the protest are being very active in trying to maintain the flow of the march in the direction that they want. Yeah, so this seems to be the case when we hit an intersection. People pick up the pace, try to maybe outmaneuver any police that might try to barricade the continued march down de Maisonneuve here. That hasn't been the case yet. No sizable police presence trying to funnel or box in the protest. So we do have some tables and chairs that were taken from the terrace onto the street. Nothing, no serious damage is being done though. Yeah, people picking up the pace once more, and so will I. Yep. Police barricade here on Mansfield and de Maisonneuve. We've got an unhappy police officer there, heard a protester laughing and sort of mocked him a little bit. That's interesting. So frustration on both sides tonight. Protesters and police officers alike. We got word here that the Sortie du Québec riot squad might be moving in on the protesters soon. Now on the intersection of McGill College and de Maisonneuve, which is where the large march at the outset was broken up. I do see in the distance there a large riot police presence that's mobilizing, heading towards the direction of the protesters. People are running in the opposite direction. We've got people right now saying no, the other way, not towards St. Catherine, but towards Sherbrooke. So here they come. A few dozen riot police officers. So the march is now running up McGill College Avenue. So I'm gonna hang back a little bit just to keep an eye on the riot police here that are on their tail. Protesters continue to run up towards Sherbrooke. Riot police and police officers on bikes are moving in that direction as well. Tear gas has been deployed. Tear gas has been deployed in the direction of the protesters who are going up McGill College Avenue towards Sherbrooke. So the tactic continues this evening. So they're not charging, but they are firing at tear gas. And I do see a dispersion right now. Oh, you can smell it here already. I'm gonna hang back a little bit. I don't necessarily feel like getting caught in the tear gas again this evening. I think once a rodeo is fine. Eventually you want to stay on the bull. Riot police continue to mobilize. They're now taking a left onto President Kennedy off of McGill Avenue. So we do have a group that went towards Sherbrooke that was tear gas, so I'm going to follow the direction of the riot police as they continue to mobilize and try to disperse the crowd. Word here that the tactic from here on out might be to disperse or trap demonstrators. That's certainly in keeping with what I'm seeing right now. I do see some vans that appear to be carrying Sortie du Québec riot police. So we've got a 99 Media cameraman here who's got a canister that was deployed. Yo, smell. What do you got? Oh, man.
I didn't show you this?
No. So this is what was deployed?
CS gas, Scat shell, yeah. And the funny part, here's the name of the company that makes it.
Safari Land. That sounds harmless. All right, so we're gonna continue pace. So the riot police officers that deployed tear gas on McGill Avenue to the protesters who were moving towards Sherbrooke are being loaded into the vans. I'm going to move, actually let me give you a view here. So we do have a police blockade back down here on de Maisonneuve, just over there. I'm going to move towards Sherbrooke slowly because there is still some tear gas in the air, but I'm going to see if there's anybody left. The tear gas is still thick in the air. I'm going to try to move slowly and breathe slowly as well. So it appears that we've got some people who are trying to get past a police blockade. A lot of police vehicles here. This is the direction that the remainder of the group was going in, towards Sherbrooke. So I'm gonna check to see if I can scope any of those people out, see if they're still active. But I get the feeling that we might be nearing the end of the night's activities, and in style. So we might still have a group of people that took a right on Sherbrooke. I do see some vans that are mobilizing and driving down Sherbrooke, so we'll see if we can find any remaining protesters. Helicopter continues to hang overhead. Ouais. Oui, il y avait une manifestation de May Day. Juste continuer en anglais parce que mon film est en anglais. So protesters started at Square Phillips, and they were moving. There were a couple of thousand, and they were moving around downtown. And then very early in the march, the police cut the march in two and deployed tear gas to get the groups to run in opposite directions. And then eventually the group came back together, started marching. They were coming up here, McGill Avenue, a little while ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, and the riot police came up behind them and shot some more tear gas. You can still smell it in the air. No problem. Look at that, news on demand. Someone asks to know what's up, you tell them. Idle one saying, hope that there's no kettle taking place. I did hear that there were some kettles. I can't confirm that myself, but I did see some chatter about that earlier on, and also possibly some activity taking place at UQAM. So there are still small groups of people who may have been involved in the protest with flags and signs. But for the time being, I don't see any large contingent. But police vehicles and vans are still driving around. We've got a lot of police presence here on Victoria and Sherbrooke. Anti-austerity, and it's a general May Day protest, because today's May Day. It's an International Workers' Day. So it started off as an anti-austerity, pro-worker protest, but now I think it's just people angry about the police response. So I hear some whistles. A lot of police vehicles moving towards me. Police officers on bikes, so I assume that there might still be some action elsewhere. So I'm gonna keep going in this direction and see if I can find anything. Coming up on Robert Bourassa and Sherbrooke. Still no sign of any large protester presence. But very large police presence, that's for sure. Helicopter moving in that direction as well, so we might be onto something here. I'm gonna run up ahead a little bit. They're taking a right on Union. towards Square Phillips. So we haven't seen this kind of, okay, I did see something thrown or fired on St. Catherine. Don't know if it was tear gas. But yeah, I haven't seen this kind of escalation in the downtown core in quite a few weeks. Not on this scale anyways. So police continue to move towards St. Catherine. Yeah, it definitely looks like there's some action happening down there. Yeah, tear gas in the air, I think. Yep, definitely some tear gas was deployed here. People covering their mouths. So I'm going to move back a little bit. So as I suspected, I thought I saw something being projected towards a group that may have reamassed near Union and St. Catherine, and I can confirm that tear gas was deployed. More police arriving. This seems to be the flashpoint right now. Riot police entering the vans, perhaps to be remobilized. I'm going to advance slowly. We do have some taunting happening right now. Police officers not having it. I'm not sure if I can see any remaining contingent of protesters, but I'm going to have a quick look around right now in this intersection of Union and St. Catherine. Okay, so we do have some confrontations right now. Flags being confiscated from protesters, and we've got a protester who's trying to get it back. She's not happy about it. Yeah, some continued agitation right now. Not sure exactly what purpose is served by taking flags away. More and more police vehicles coming in, redeploying. Police have not been shy about their use of tear gas. We do have something that was thrown at a police vehicle. People are still covering their faces. So we do have a group here. There appears to be a group back up on Union. I'm just going to see if that's a group of protesters or just onlookers who are dispersing. It's chaotic tonight. We do have some people applying mail-locks to individuals who may have gotten caught in the tear gas. So we do have police advancing, trying to disperse people. they are trying to get people away from the intersection of St. Catherine and Union. So I'm going to try to catch up with this group over here that seems to have gotten caught in the tear gas that was deployed. Yeah, so a lot of people are having Maalox mix applied to their eyes to try and soothe the pain. So she must have been right in the thick of it and breathed in an absolute mouthful. So right now, I mean, it's just chaos right now. You've got people dispersing. They're trying to deal with the aftermath of being tear gassed. Riot police redeploying everywhere. You've got onlookers, bystanders, people just shopping out on the town who were greeted to a mouthful of tear gas. I got some chatter here saying the word is disperse or get arrested. Yeah, haven't seen that many arrests yet, but I'm told that there were some kettles. So I'm moving right now towards one of the potential ones that I've heard about on McGill and St. Catherine. I do see quite a few police vehicles and people moving in that direction, so I will as well. Let me just run up here. Yeah, so it definitely looks like we have a kettle because we've got an STM bus that's been co-opted to issue tickets, most likely under Montreal's controversial P6 bylaw that requires protesters to provide an itinerary. So yeah, it definitely looks like we've got a mass arrest kettle situation right now. It's going to be difficult to get too close because we do have a police barricade and more police coming in. But yeah, that's we've got a kettle right there. Seems to be hard to tell how many people are there, but it might be in the dozens. We've got a chance right now to liberate our comrades. How's it going, Verity? What? Define okay. Yeah, a lot of tear gas tonight. A lot of tear gases. Yeah. And I don't know where the sortie du Québec came from, but they were backing up the SPVM and they were mean tonight. Well, I mean, we've got this kettle. We've got a couple of. I mean, it's hard to tell who's an onlooker and who's a protester right now, but. I mean, there were quite a few attempts to disperse people. The first one was very early on in the march on McGill College Avenue, going towards St. Catherine. It was split in half. It did regroup. And then again, once we got back to McGill College and St. Catherine, same tactic was used. Tear gas was deployed, and it got dispersed on Sherbrooke, and then again on Union. And so it's just thinning the numbers every time. So we've got riot police coming to perhaps reinforce a barricade here. Asking people to circulate. A lot of riot police coming out right now. We've got dozens and dozens of riot police officers. They're saying circulate. They're coming quite quickly. So I'm going to move back.
Go, 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 bouge! Ouais. Go, go!
Asking people who are out taking the smoke to disperse. Eyebrows are up.
J'avance, non, oui. Hey!
Yeah, people getting pushed. People saying, don't touch me. I didn't do anything. Don't touch me. So that this lady here saying that I was not part of this protest, cursing up a storm. Faites pas partie de la manif puis vous ont poussé?
Oui, justement, c'est des tabarnak de fous.
So we had some people who were being asked to move back. They were, but sometimes not at the speed that the police wanted. So we did have some pushing and shoving, and the reaction you get to that is generally not favorable, to say the least. Riot police appear to be moving away from this blockade that they had on the intersection where the Kettle is taking place, and they seem to be entering the vans to be redeployed elsewhere. Question here, is the bus to arrest people? Yeah, the public transit bus is not necessarily to arrest people and put them on. Sometimes I think people are brought on, but for the most part it's used as a sort of base operations to issue tickets under Montreal's P6 bylaw, which is usually I think about a $600 fine for not dispersing when given the order to. Hugo Trottier 7 saying that police are now working on at least 7 different pockets of resistance from protesters. So I'm going to try to get back in a little bit closer. They seem to have calmed down a little bit on trying to disperse people. So I'm going to try to get a better view on the Kettle that's happening right now. And in situations like that, when people push back, not physically, but when they get upset that they're being asked to disperse, you do occasionally hear a police officer say something, one might say inappropriate comment towards a protester, and that just sort of spirals and escalates. So I'm going to move back towards the Kettle. They moved us back a couple of blocks, but I'm right back where the Kettle was, where the riot police blockade pushed us back. It's usually the case in those situations. I think they want to de-escalate things quickly, just move people back to control the situation, and then obviously they're not going to necessarily hold the line, so they do redeploy. So, but I mean, it worked because there was a large group here before, and now it's just me and a couple of others. So. Try to get a little bit closer. So yeah, people still kettled. It doesn't appear they are bringing people to the public transit buses to issue tickets just yet, but that is coming up, I presume. Questions, comments, anything you'd like clarified about tonight's events, put it in the chat, and I'm happy to answer. Just keep your questions or comments brief, in one sentence chunks, so I can see the whole message, please. Saying here that $600 fine versus posting $5,000 bail. Yeah, well, I mean, the situation is different where these people are not necessarily going to be booked and arrested. They're not facing any charges beyond the fine. So it is a municipal, it's a city bylaw that they're going to be issued a fine for breaking and not necessarily for committing a mild or a serious crime. So there's no arrest, there's no bail in that situation. So I do hear some chatter that there are some more isolated pockets of protester action, and that police are mobilizing to meet up with it. Kind of difficult to tell exactly where that might be. And I do see here two groups of demonstrators that are merging towards the police headquarters. So, I mean, nothing much happening here. It's a Kettle. It's not going to change anytime soon. So I'm going to move. I'm going to move in the direction of the police headquarters to see if there is, in fact, anything happening there. Quite a night. Police tried to end it early, or at least break it up significantly early, and it seemed to have worked at first, but then the groups re-emerged and with more resolve, and the spiral sort of continued until the numbers were thinned out after the use of more tear gas and more rushing from riot police officers. So that's the situation. That's the situation this evening. Anybody got any updates on the hockey game? Canadians versus the Lightning. I'm not a big hockey guy, but you know, it'd still be nice to know. So circulation seems to have returned to normal here on the on St. Catherine and University. So people are back out. The smell of tear gas seems to have dissipated. So foot traffic back to normal for Montreal on a Friday night standard. So I'm going to move in the direction of Montreal Police Headquarters. Middleman 514, 0-0. Thank you. At the end of the second. Ooh. Canadians are touch and go on that third period. I don't know. Have a good night. Members of the independent media right now interviewing somebody who's got some thoughts to share about the dispersal tactics that were used by the police this evening. Small? I hear police headquarters.
Police headquarters?
Yeah, I've got some people in the chat saying that there might be... Middleman 514 saying that bringing a kid to a night protest is debatable. Well, you also have to keep in mind that this was a very large demonstration, and it did start with the sun still up. So it was, you know, there were families and people around, but also a lot of the kids who got caught in the tear gas crossfire early on were not part of a family that was in the protest. They were just walking on the street. And that's the reality you have to deal with when the police decide to use tear gas in a big way on a Friday night in a crowded part of the city. So we do see here the aftermath of some of the protest activity this evening. Just some traffic cones that were deployed on the street to try and block traffic. We do have still a police helicopter overhead, and following the lead here in the chat, saying that there might be some groups or a group that's mobilized near police headquarters in downtown Montreal. So I'm headed there right now. It's a couple of blocks away. Should be there in a few minutes. And given what I find there, if it's sort of died down and there's nothing to stream or to report on, I might call it a night. I'm not looking forward to having to do a recap on this, the events of this evening, because it's going to be quite a mess to sift through and try to explain. But I'm going to be using the word tear gas and riot police quite a bit. Can't get around that one. So yeah, I'm going to keep streaming for now as I head towards police headquarters. I'll say right now, thank you very much for everybody who's tuned in this evening, who's streamed and mirrored the footage, chatted, shared it. Thank you very much. It's always my pleasure to help inform and to report on what's happening. And I gotta say, my audience is the very best. You guys are awesome. So there is a blockade up ahead right now on the intersection of Blurry and St. Catharines. Some police officers on horseback. So it seems like we might indeed be going in the right direction in terms of where the protest has moved to, or at least an element of it. About 2 blocks away from police headquarters. I do see some police lights flashing and riot police vans mobilizing. I'm going to pick up the pace just a little bit here. Yeah, a lot of vehicles here on the Jeanne Mance, heading down Jeanne Mance towards President Kennedy. Lots of police still on the street. Now about a block away from police headquarters. Once again, I'll pick up the pace just to get there and see what's happening. So we do still have some horns being blown. So we do still have what appears to be elements of the protest that are moving in this direction. Although it may be related to hockey, I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay, so coming up here on the intersection of St. Catherine and St. Urban, where police headquarters are located. So we do have some vehicles at the end of the street here that seem to have built a blockade, but no protester presence. I do hear some sirens in the distance. Yeah, I mean, once you get to this level of dispersion, and it's hard to tell exactly where the protesters are going to end up. I do see some, aside from the sirens that I hear in the distance, I do also see some police officers on bikes heading down St. Catherine towards UQAM, where I heard that there was some action in that direction as well. So may as well just keep going in that direction and see if I can come across anything. I hear some whistles being blown. Police officers on motorcycles continuing down St. Catherine. Yeah, so I think that there may at some point have been a group that was protesting near the police headquarters, which is where I am right now. We do have a line of riot police right now, and we see the police vehicle lot over here. But there is still quite a large police presence moving down St. Catherine towards Barrie, so I'm going there as well. It's going to get shaky for a second. I'm just going to reach into my bag and plug in my external charger so that the feed doesn't cut out. Just a second. Plugged in. All right, and we do have riot police who are redeploying. They're saying it's a green light, keep moving. Again, there doesn't really seem to be a very large protester presence here. It's really just passerbys and onlookers, but we still have a riot police response here. A lot of confused looking people, to say the least. Riot police continue to direct people onto the sidewalk or get them to cross if they're staying on one intersection that they don't like. I don't know. Yeah, most of the vehicles that have passed by are heading in this direction, and I do still see some protesters who are moving that way as well. Can hear some riot police officers shouting. So this protest appears to still be alive in some form. More vehicles showing up, vans carrying riot police officers. And we do have a police announcement van here.
Austérité en eux.
So, hearing here that the protesters have moved past UQAM, nothing was broken, no confrontation, so we'll be moving past there shortly. See exactly what happened.
C'est quoi le score? C'est quoi le score du match? Non?
You can see quite a few police lights in the distance, so I think there is still a march that's going on. I'm going to pick up the pace just a little bit, try to get a little bit closer to what might still be happening. Can hear some sirens behind me right now as the police continue to mobilize in the direction that I'm going, so I'll stick with it. So we're now walking by UQAM, the university campus here. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be any disturbance, so the protesters have passed by without incident. Lots of vehicles still moving in this direction. Over a dozen police vehicles right now. And police officers on bikes. So I think I might see some people on the sidewalks about a block away, some riot police. So it seems like we might still have some protest action. All the vehicles seem to have stopped in this general vicinity. Lighting should get better in a second. It's just poorly illuminated around here. Okay, so we do have riot police moving people away from the intersection of Barrie and St. Catherine. So I'm gonna try to move ahead here a little bit. Boom. A bit of a disagreement. So we might still have some protesters here on the sidewalk. So it's quite a a guy on a bike with a horn being told that he can't go in that direction. Still have a few signs, a few people who appear to be protesters who have amassed here at Place Emily Gamelin. Not a lot though, but we do still have some vehicles moving ahead. So I'll check to see if there's So police are blocking access to the street for some reason. Nobody was making any move to get back on the street, but there you have it. Gonna move ahead a little bit to get to the front of these police vehicles, see if there's anything left here. Saint-Hubert and St. Catherine, yeah, that's where I am right now, just coming up on that intersection, and yes, the riot police are here in full. Not a lot of lights around here. So yeah, just a handful of protesters right now, mixed in with bystanders. So yeah, I think the party appears to be over for this evening. Yeah, just a handful of people who appear to still be protesting in a limited fashion, but still a very large police presence here. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night for now. I'll stick around if anybody's got some last-minute questions or comments about what happened here this evening. Go ahead, I'll do my best to answer. A lot of tear gas and running this evening, so feeling a little spent. All right, Middleman 514, thanks, good job again, thank you. Always nice to see you here, having you contribute. So yeah, quick recap of the events this evening. Before I sign off, we basically had a march that started at Square Phillips. There were what appeared to be about a few thousand, maybe a couple thousand people at the outset. Very, very early on, the protesters, just as they were leaving the square, tried to take a right onto St. Catherine towards in the direction of Place des Halles, but were very quickly rebuked by the police. There was a police line, and that just started the evening off on a foul and an odd note. People just sort of confused about why the police were making a stand there anyways, so they continued in the other direction on St. Catherine. So eventually this large group made its way to McGill College Avenue, and as it was heading towards St. Catherine, the riot police came in, effectively split the march into two, and deployed tear gas in the direction of both halves, trying to disperse them. General chaos ensued. There were plenty of people around who were not protesters. I saw some kids being carried away by their parents, running to get them away from the tear gas, but it was obvious from the expressions on their faces that the children had breathed in some of the tear gas. Anyways, then it was a cat and mouse game, as it usually is when police try to disperse a group that large in the downtown core. And then that tactic of divide and conquer was used a couple of times, tear gas deployed on several occasions, and it's just been that over and over this evening. And just as I'm ready to sign off, I hear some yelling here, but I think it's just the remaining small contingent of protesters just making a final point. So that's the long and short of it this evening. This is going to be archived a little bit later this evening. It will be on YouTube if you want to go back and view the events of the evening. And I will also be doing a recap video with some of the highlights, just breaking it down. So you can expect that. Follow me on Twitter @MattDamour. The Twitter handle is in the title of the stream. Also check out thelinknewspaper.ca and 99media.org, two organizations that I'm working with to bring you this live stream. Keep watching, keep sharing, keep contributing. Right now we just have general dispersal order from the police. They tried to get some people into the metro, and the remainder of the people are moving down the sidewalk here. We appear to have an onlooker who was chastised for picking the wrong time to tie her shoe. No comment on that one. and still just some small pockets of protesters who are still resisting the order to disperse, but not many of them. So we just had a police officer tell this gentleman here who was arguing with her that he should stop talking and disperse. So we do have some police officers in the metro here. Going to follow this group here. Very small pocket of people who are being moved buried by the riot police. But yeah, this appears to be the end of it. It's going to be very interesting to see how this whole evening is characterized in the media. We got some police officers who seem to like what they saw a moment ago. Yes? Oh, on the sidewalk.
You gotta go lower, right?
Excuse me? So I'm being asked to move a little bit lower. I think that my observation that they were leering at a passerby got them a little bit upset, so they want me to move back. Interesting how I wasn't a problem right up until the moment they overheard that. It's funny how the demeanor of police is a little bit different with certain people. And apparently they don't like it when you point that out. Anyways, gonna leave that one alone. Thanks very much for watching. I'm gonna call it a night. Keep looking at the chat, keep looking at Twitter, Link Newspaper, and 99 Media. Yep, we're gonna call it an evening, so thank you everybody. Signing off. Good night.